Well, hi guys, welcome back to Linda's Pantry, and today is the taste test for the carrots that I canned. It just got too late to do the taste test, and the jars were still too hot to open um, at, at the time that I was filming, but I did use them in my braised lamb shank, the finished product. They're so good. It was very good, and tonight I'm going to make a side dish for you with these French onion carrots, I call them. And if you didn't see that video, it's my very last video for January 2025. And so I am going to make a side dish with this. It's sweet and savory and salty all at the same time. So come on in. We're going to have some maple bacon carrots. Yum! I can't wait. These are so good. And so super easy. Come on down. Okay, so this is super easy. I've got roughly a piece and a half of bacon. One piece of bacon would be just fine. But I had this already cooked up, and it's sitting there waiting to get used one way or another. And so this is what's happening tonight. And you can't ever have too much bacon. It's so good. So you want to brown off, some bacon. If you're just doing one jar of this, one strip of bacon is plenty, unless you're like us and you need more. I mean, this is probably the equivalent to one piece of bacon anyway. Who's counting how many pieces? Well, okay. You're going to need some organic maple syrup, 100% maple syrup. There's no exceptions. And then you'll need a jar of your beautifully home canned carrots. And these French onion carrots are fantastic. And the headspace stayed pretty true. Everything is under the liquid. This one might be a tad lower. So I'm going to use the one that I can see carrots above the liquid. I'm always going to use that jar first. So that jar is going first. These all look fantastic. And you never have a rhyme or a reason why a jar might siphon a little bit. Who knows? But this is the one. Tag, you're it. These all the jars sealed beautifully. And would this be good on your shelf? Absolutely. The USDA says that because siphoning happens to everyone. So as long as there's more than half the jar filled with liquid, whether you've raw packed something and it doesn't have much liquid, or you've canned and it siphoned some liquid, you want to make sure you have at least half the jars filled with liquid. It is still perfectly fine to consume. So that's what we're going to do. I am going to, you know what? I think we need some butter in this recipe. What do you think? Butter always sounds really, really good. So I think I'm going to go over and add some butter to my pan. And we'll get this over there, and I'll make it. So I'm going to put some butter, about a teaspoon of butter down in your pan. It's going to add more flavor. It's going to be delicious. Don't scrimp on the butter. Anyway, now we've got our jar. We're going to open this. Okay, watch for this. Ooh, nice suction. And that's what we want to see. And, okay, so some people would be concerned, oh my gosh, there's stuff on the lid. Well, this is part of the French onion soup mix. As the jar is venting, that liquid is being pushed around in there and out and there you go. So, they smell fantastic. Not even joking. It smells like savory stew already. And these are tender but not mushy. So we're going to get our butter going here. I'm going to use all this liquid. We're going to thicken it a little bit because I want these like a glazed carrot, right? So let's get a measurement on the maple syrup. And like I said, you want a raw or an organic maple syrup. I'm putting 2 tablespoons of maple syrup with that butter. Now that smells like French toast, right? Okay, get that out of the way. Let's get us a spatula. Get that all mixed together. Oh my goodness, that smells so good. And now we're just going to pour the whole jar in. And then with a non-metallic, and I say this, but I also always don't practice this. I try to, because I don't want to damage my jars in any way. Jars are an investment, and I need them to last as long as possible. So really using metal on your jars is not a preferred, but I also understand we don't always have a choice. Sometimes that's the only utensil we have. So I want to get all those little onion bits out because that is flavor. And let me just tell you how good that smells. It smells divine. And now, and you can look at my Amazon store. I have that jar opener. Okay, let's come a little closer and see what we got. Ooh, did you guys want to see how I canned these carrots? Let's stop right here and let me show you a little bit of what happened and how these came to be. Pretty fantastic that we can do canned carrots, all these vegetables. And no, most of these came out of my garden, so I know they're organic. I know what's in this jar. And even if I just handpick organic at the store, which part of them were, I am still assuring me, my family, whoever consumes these, that it's a good product. And I am so excited about having carrots on my shelf again. I'm going to do some more. I'm going to purchase some more organic carrots. And then I'll be assured that it's going to be on my shelf at all times because these are wonderful. I do, like I said in my video, I do want to do some ginger honey carrots. I haven't done them before. I've heard from other people that have done them that you don't taste the distinctive ginger or honey, like each by itself, but the element of sweetness and how it elevates the flavor of the carrots is really what you're looking for. And that is exactly what, by themselves, what happened. So the broth itself tastes like carrot broth with a sweet onion background and a little bit of that savory background. So don't be afraid to add that sweetness to this. I really want to bring this to a boil. And as you can see, my carrots aren't breaking apart just because I'm stirring them. They are not mushy. They're cooked. They are not mushy. So don't be afraid to can vegetables. And in fact, when you're pressure cooking or pressure canning, I'm just giving you the pressure cooking principles as well. All the nutrients are locked in that jar. They are not escaping. You're not boiling them out. It's all locked in there. It's being pushed and compressed back in. If that makes sense, that's the easiest analogy I can give you. Okay, so we're coming up to a simmer. So excited. I might need a little bit more maple syrup because I really want that maple flavor. I didn't feel like I had enough maple flavor. So that's 3. Is that 3 or 4 tablespoons? Maple. And that's to your preference, whatever you want, right? Okay. Once it comes up to a boil, I have a teaspoon of cornstarch, and I made a little slurry. You could actually use, to make the slurry, you could use the cold broth out of this because the broth that was in there was cold. So pour that slurry. Whoops. Let's do it this way. So you can see what I'm doing. Because it's coming up to a boil. It's going to thicken, right? Let me get my table of goodies over here. Okay, coming up to a boil. I don't want it thick, like thick. I just want a saucy kind of thick. Let's turn this burner down. Oh yeah, I can't wait till it's, ooh. And if you want to thicken a sauce faster, literally it'll evaporate a lot of the liquid off, and that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to go ahead and evaporate some liquid off of here. I don't want to put any more cornstarch in there. I just want to evaporate some more of the liquid. It'll concentrate the flavor, and which will be better for the end product. And then I'll add my bacon, and then we're ready. Oh my gosh, for a taste test? Are you kidding? This is going to be so good. Okay, I'll be back when we're ready to put the bacon in. Okay, these are thick as I want them. It's a nice thick glaze. You can see it sheets off of your spatula. That's the kind of thickness you want. So you just reduce it down until you get that. That concentrates the flavor, and woo! Yeah. So let's, and you can adjust the maple, you can adjust the, you could do brown sugar if you wanted. You could do a brown sugar bacon with these carrots. And I'll tell you what's really decadent here in a second. So something very decadent, and I've only had it once, but it was divine. So I'm just going to get this out of the pan, and I'm trying to do it right in it. Look at that. So it's got a really nice thick glaze. This is going to be our side dish tonight, but I'm probably going to do my taste test right out of here because I don't have a lot of little tasting bowls like usual. And we're going to top it with our bacon. What? Yes, bacon. And go ahead and give that a little zhuzh around. Mix it in so the bacon can get happy. And oh my goodness, my gracious. Okay, doesn't that look good? Okay, I'm so excited. You can also add a little bit of parsley if you wanted some fresh herbs, but this is the way we're going to have it tonight. And let me just tell you, this on a baked potato. Just pour this on, add a little bit more bacon, some green onions, and some or some parsley, and it is divine. It's so good. And of course some more butter. But let's just get us a taste test and get this off the counter. Let's get a little bitty bit. A little bitty. Okay. Yum. Okay, are you ready? Okay, I need bacon and carrots. But it's screaming hot. I should probably put the dish down. So I'm not double dipping into our side dish here. Let me get, oh, I need more carrot than that. Okay, so I have bacon, I have carrots, and it's dripping hot lava onto my hand. No problem. It's all for you, YouTube. All for you. Okay, ready, set. It hits every note. It's sweet. It's savory. It's salty. It's crunchy. Oh my gosh. And I'm just like the palm of my hand. You have to try this. I'm not even joking. It's so delicious. It's such a great little side dish. And this is holiday worthy. So can yourself up some carrots. Grow some carrots. Can them up. And if you didn't want to can them with the French onion soup mix and be pigeonholed into something savory, obviously I'm savory and sweet and salty right here, but you could can them plain and add your French onion soup mix and all the other stuff later if that's what you wanted to do. But I hope this inspires you to try your hand at home canning. It's so delicious and shh, don't tell anybody. And rewarding, especially this part. And the carrots, I've always avoided store-bought carrots in the can because they taste metallic to me. Carrots have a lot of minerals they're pulling out of the soil. These do not have a metallic flavor at all. They're so good. And they're not mushy, they're soft. They're perfect. All right. I do hope. I see you next time. I hope if you're new to my channel, you'll subscribe, you'll hit that thumbs up, share it on your Facebook page, wherever you share your social media, and help me out. It really does help me out. And as always, can't wait to see you next time. What would you like to see next? Let me know in the comments. Okay, bye. I do hope you like this recipe and you try it. It's fantastic, and I hope you subscribe and share it on your Facebook page. Give me a thumbs up. It really, really helps me out.